And what is up, guys? Technical Tinkers here, checking in on our 3D print operation for today. I own a business, has nothing to do with 3D printing, but I got interested in it, so I'm trying it here at home with these printers to see if I can generate sales, set up an Etsy, an Amazon, an eBay, etc., and make it into a viable option for supplementing my current business. So what am I working on today? Let's take a look. Everything is pretty much quiet because we got our Colt Python parts all off the printer. These just finished up the barrel section and the center section. Going to take a look at those here shortly. The cylinder section came off yesterday. Our hands and feet came off the plate. That was as of yesterday. The Sovol, we got our egg dispenser. It's actually over here. Excuse this table, it came out of my building, but this is for the mother-in-law. It's just, she has chickens, and this you put in your fridge. I probably should have done it without brim because, you know, I'm gonna have to get out the deburring tool to take that off, but it stacks up. You put your eggs in it. I'm not gonna sell this, but you know, it's an interesting thing nonetheless. Looks like we had our filament run out over here, finishing up some the reprint of the character model bodies. So let's go ahead and swap that out. And so we actually got a sale as well. I already packed it up and it's being shipped. My wife's taking it over to the post office, but I sold one of these big bullets. I had not sold one of these before, probably because I think that they're, I don't want to say overpriced, but I got these listed at like $24 or something like that. It's just a big version of the bullet. Someone bought the hollow point. It's printed all in one with the brass and the copper. This is like Overture and this is like Polymaker. It's a nice looking unit, but I think, again, it's like, because the shipping cost on this was like, I think like $8. I probably could have got it down to like maybe $6 if I would have used a smaller sort of package, but didn't want to take any chances. It's the first one I've ever sold. And again, I imagine that's why they haven't been selling so well. And if you buy a whole bunch of these, I think I got them severely discounted. It's really the shipping that eats it up. And that's why I really don't want to get too much into medium or small size models, because the shipping, like what you have to charge for them, the shipping just eats that all up. So like I see other creators shipping these really small things, and they usually ship them in like bubble mailers and things like that. And like I get it, like sure, even if you got your shipping costs down to like a couple bucks, you know, after your Etsy fee and your, you know, you hold out money for taxes and your packing material and all that kind of stuff, what are you making, like a buck? I mean, I get it if you're selling like 100 a day, sure, but even if you're selling 100 a day and packing up 100 a day and you're making a buck, it's $100, it's nothing. But this, you know, with even what I charge minus that $8, minus the cost to print it, it's still, you know, probably like a $10 rip. So pretty good, very happy to sell that. We've also got our giant Colt Python, well, the smaller version that came out. We're gonna slap a coat of paint on that after we slap a turkey neck and it's hanging from a pigeon wing. Get the cylinder glued in because we have to paint the bullets, the brass and copper. It's not gonna spin, but should be a pretty impressive model, and we should be able to pack it and ship it for less than that, like $200 something oversized charge. So very happy to get that going. Might take a look at the big one I already printed again to see if I'm able to like finagle it and like actually pack it and ship it and get it in under that size. Because if that's the case, then I'll put that one on Etsy as well, and that means I could have two plus the third one that's coming out of production right now. So lots of things going on today. Going to take a look again at the Rhino. Going to take a look again at really everything. Hopefully those character model prints finish up in the next couple hours. I can get all those glued, get those on the Etsy, and that way I can move on to like the next incarnation of stuff, get the T-Rex jawbone started, and yeah, just continue on. Give those things a few hours to settle out and check back in. All right, checking back in for the midday update. We got all our character model stuff off the printer. Apologize for the camera settings. I know it was going in and out of focus. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Trying to provide a better product, better entertainment. So bear with me. And over here on the A1, we've got a couple of the hollow points working now. Since we sold one yesterday, thought let's just go ahead and print a couple of them, get them back in stock so we can make sure that we've got them available for anybody that wants to purchase. On the Sovol, doing the replacement to the egg thing. The egg thing was a personal print. It's, you know, for like my mother-in-law or whatever, but when I printed it with brim, and I started peeling it off, and it's got so many like internal structures. I'm like, I'm just gonna print another one versus trying to get all that brim off. I know, lazy, right? So doing another one of those there. Down here on Cobra number 3, doing a replacement to the barrel section of the Colt Python. because I forgot to put the hole in it that holds the axle, I guess, that the cylinder spins on. So yeah, another whiff there, but this should be the last version 16.0 of the Colt Python. Once that's out, we can slap it all together. And over here on the, I'm not gonna show you the Giga because the T-Rex skull is getting pretty close. 6 hours, about 7 hours remain on the T-Rex skull, and I figure like I couldn't really do a big reveal, I guess, if I show you it in its current form because it looks, well, like a giant T-Rex skull. So I'm gonna hold off until tomorrow's vlog, so you have to stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe to the channel where I'll show it. But once that's done, we're gonna get the job bone going. 7 hours, yeah, I'll be in bed by then, so I'll probably have to get the job bone going in the morning, but I can go ahead and queue it up, get it sliced, get it ready, get it on, yeah, because I'm doing these via thumb drives or USB. So gonna do that one in the morning, but stay tuned. All right, so while I was in there snoofering around with you guys, I walk out, my wife's like, DHL just delivered something for you. But she said it much angrier. DHL usually means it comes from the Far East, and so I'm wondering, is this crypto miner or is it 3D printer? Or, because it doesn't look like I ordered a couple of those gas cans from Vevor, those metal gas cans that are all over TikTok. I finally found some. Let's see. Y'all are gonna experience this with me. Oh, it's a jazz miner. Yep, crypto thing. All right, crypto thing. You guys don't want to see that. Courtesy of Jingle Mining. If you want to buy a jazz miner from Jingle Mining, go to their link via my YouTube channel. All right, so the other thing too is I haven't talked about it in a couple days, but the letterbox, the Sesame Street's brought to you by the letter A. Some very kind people chiming in the comments about how they do it or something similar. Because yeah, I was talking about how it feels kind of chintzy, but it still ate a lot of filament. Now it is a big print, but I would think that it would, you know, be a little more robust. And a lot of people saying, oh, they just do a thinner wall, but a solid wall. And I'm like, you know, that makes sense. So I resliced the letter A with a 2.5 millimeter wall, which is significantly thinner, but solid. And just the box portion said it would take about 1,000 grams. So almost a full spool of filament, basically a full spool. And at only 2.5 millimeters, I just feel like I'm missing something here. Like maybe, well, because my bottom shell I put in at 5 millimeters, so that is really thick. But even when I say reduce the infill to 50% on a 2.5 millimeter wall, that's basically nothing. Still eating a lot of filament. So if that's just the name of the game, that's fine. But once I combine it with the lid here, which will have to be equally as robust, you're talking about a spool and a half of filament, so 15 bucks a filament on the low end. And then like these letter boxes, you know, how much would I be able to get for a letter box that's, you know, large, you know, it's a large letter box, but is someone going to be willing to pay 30, 40 bucks for it? Because shipping it's, you know, probably 10. So 10, and I got 15 in the material. That's 25, you know, so I'm gonna need to at least rip 10 bucks off of this because it eats up like a full day's worth of printing. I'm just not sure if the market's there for it. So continue to try that. Maybe if I, you know, if I got free printers right now, so maybe I'll just try it out with the 2.5 millimeter wall. Maybe I'll take it, well, see, I don't want to slice it low to do a test print, because if I cut the model like here, you know, it may be 50 millimeters up, and then print it there, of course it's going to be more robust, but I really want to test whether or not it's going to hold up when it's high up, because it's not close to any support and it's going to have a lot of give. So still eager to know, you know, your feedback in the comments below. You think someone would pay 40 bucks for a letterbox like this, and then they, you know, need to fill it up with lo mein or whatever I said that they should fill it up with? As far as other stuff too, I got my character models back there. You can see them, the Feet Girl in a box, all printed up, all looking good, all glued together, sitting there. The glue's curing currently. So gonna get those back up on the Etsy today. Finally, since I have a little time, I guess, maybe I'll take a stab at plasticity. It's like $100 to download it, but I've been watching more videos about it, and people like, you know, having the argument between Fusion 360 or plasticity. And again, this is me speaking from a place of largely inexperience. You know, Fusion 360 being a parametric modeling, plasticity being direct modeling, I guess. But it has a lot of the same behaviors. Just looking at the workflow, plasticity seems much more in line with what I'm accustomed to, which is Tinkercad, which is, you know, a CAD for toddlers, basically. It's just Fusion 360 has so many features, which is a good thing if you're an engineer, but I'm not an engineer. I'm making letterboxes and very simple shapes. And so with plasticity, it seems like I have a little more flexibility there, and so I'm a little less likely to get overwhelmed with it. But you know, I kind of need to pull the trigger on something. I've tried Fusion 360, and it's just, yeah, again, it's overwhelming. It's like a lot of time, and I know I'm going to have to invest time into learning one of these programs. But I really got to get one that kind of like gets me to where, you know, within 80% of what I need to do pretty quickly. So that's what's going on the 3D print side of things today. Love to know what you're working on. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. I'm The Technicals. See you next time.